Class in session, guys. Okay. Be friends with people. Don't be a twat. Be friends with people. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, do you know what? I don't trust people. Or I find it hard to trust that person, man. And do you know what? You might find it hard to not trust certain people. But in general, be friends with people. There's a saying from a lot of successful people, especially financially wealthy people, where they say, your network is your net worth. See, naturally, we're going to interact with people on a daily basis. Do you know the majority of people don't talk to people if they do not know them? They will only talk to people that they know. It's weird. It's like in society today, if I don't know you, I ain't gonna chat to you. Not me personally, but this is what a lot of people have been conditioned to think. And when we start separating ourselves from so many people, so many opportunities, because the confidence to actually interact with another person or speak to a stranger, a lot of people just don't have it. Or if they do interact with a person, it's because they had to do it. They had to. For example, you had to ask that person for directions. You had to ask that person what's in this food. You had to speak to them. But in general, you want to start to develop the skill of being friends with people. Because what happens when you're friends with people is you know a lot more people. And guess what? They know a lot more people. And guess what? It opens more experiences for you in the world when you're friends with more people. Especially friends in other countries. The average person only has a certain amount of friends, and they're people that they have been friends with for a very long time. But deep down, they're quite resistant to meeting new people. Now, if you're one of those people watching this video where you're like, oh, I get along with everyone. I'm very sociable. I can chat to new people. Great. This video ain't for you. But these are for the people that don't have a lot of friends, find it hard to make friends, even find it hard to talk to men and hard to talk to women. You start off with friendship, man. Be friends with people. They have what they call, in the communication kind of world, the icebreaker. The icebreaker is that first step of breaking the ice with a person to allow for further communication and potential relationships, whether it's friendship or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, right? And how you do an icebreaker, right? This is what I do, right? If I genuinely want to be friends with people or at least get to know someone else. I start with the current situation. What do I mean? What's that person currently doing? I'll give you an example. Many years ago, right, I remember I was sitting on a bus and there was a girl reading a driver theory book. Now, I'd passed my test many years ago, but I remembered reading the same book so I could pass the theory test. And this person was sitting across on the other seat reading the theory book. Now, this is what I mean by start with where they are. So I can see they're reading a theory book. So my icebreaker was, don't worry, you'll pass it. It is so easy. That person immediately smiled, and guess what? It removed any resistance that was there, and it allowed them to speak to me. It allowed them to speak to me. And we was talking about my experiences in the theory test, hazard and perception, doing the physical driving test. And, because the bus journey was quite long, I was even having a little mock test with that person in the bus. And, we was joking, laughing about it. It was all fun. And a connection was established, right? It was established. And then it was so good. It was like when the person had to get off, they were like, you know what? What's your social media? Let me follow you. The connection has now been made. And guess what? 5 years later, we still talk and we're good friends. Be friends with people. And guess what? That friend I met on the bus reading the theory book, they introduced me to their friends. Your network grows just by meeting new people, just by starting where you are. So remember, a tip to actually be friends with people and interact with them is the icebreaker. Start with where they are. What are they currently doing? Or what are they wearing? That should give you some sort of way to kind of slide in there with interacting with them. Some people will blow this. They'll be like, allow this. I ain't doing that, man. I can't be asked. Well, that comes down to confidence. That comes down to confidence. I've said this many times in videos. Confidence is the cornerstone of all of our actions, whatever we do. Without the confidence, you ain't really going to get far in life. I'm just saying it as it is. Without the confidence, you're not going to get anywhere. Who are you kidding? Be friends with people. And guess what? It's going to open up more experiences, more life situations, and who knows what could happen. Hey, that person might end up being your wife. Or ladies, that guy might end up being your husband. Who knows? Until you take the first step, start with where they are, with the goal of be friends with people. And anything that flourishes after that, it will naturally unfold. This is BentoVision. Comment, like, subscribe, tap that bell button for notifications. Holla back.